Hi and welcome back to Neural Splendor. A week or two ago I did a video on noise under the hood, and now I've got a second video on noise under the hood. This wasn't a truck, it was a liebherr crane, and it actually has a inline Mercedes engine in it. So when I got up to the crane shop, they had already pressure tested the charge air system, all the boots, everything. It was all okay. And they soaped it down, didn't see anything leaking. They had the belts off the engine, they revved it up for me, and the engine did have, after it was at high idle, which is probably around 2300 RPM, it started to make a squeal noise. So we talked about it a little bit. I told him to check all the connections on the EGR system, look for a leak there. And I told him to carefully inspect around the exhaust manifold where it bolts to the head and the turbo mounting gasket. I said, if everything looks good there, then I want you to pull the intake off the turbo and inspect the shaft end play and then side play. Make sure the impeller's not rubbing on anything and it feels smooth when it turns. And then I told him, if that looks okay, I want you to put a new oil filter in it. This has a cartridge filter. The filter housing is actually always bolted on the engine. And put a new cartridge in and bring the old cartridge up to our shop so we could cut it and look for metal. So they called me back in a little bit, and the problem was number 5 exhaust gasket was starting to leak. On most of the engines with VGT, the exhaust gaskets are solid steel gaskets. They're probably around 45 thousandths thick, and they can leak. The manifolds are torqued anywhere between 35 and 50 foot-pounds, so they've got a nice tight fit. The head's perfectly flat, the manifold's flat, but for some reason on most engines it seems like 2 and 5 start leaking. They were able to see a stripe coming off the gasket with a mirror, so they called me up and said they ordered the part to change the gaskets, and that should take care of that problem. So if you have a noise under the hood, it only happens when you're under load or at high RPM. Check your exhaust gaskets, check your EGR gaskets, take some soap, soap everything up, bubble soap. I like bubble soap the best. And then have somebody throttle it up while you watch for bubbles coming out. And there needs to be none. So that if you have any leaks at all, you can have a high-pitched noise. Thanks for joining me at Neural Splendor. See you next time.